Hello friends, welcome to Nabla Online Maths. Today, we are going to learn a trick that will help us find the square root of an imperfect square number without using calculator. In our previous lessons, we have learned how to find the square root of perfect square numbers without using calculator. And we use methods like repeated subtraction method, prime factorization method, and the pairing method. But today, we are going to look at a trick that you use to find the square root of a number which is not a perfect square number. And I have some things on the board to explain this trick. On the board, I have a table, and this table contains square roots of perfect square numbers. And this table will help us or guide us to find the square root of non-perfect square numbers. So in the table, I have square root of 1, which is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. And the table continues. So the trick that I'm going to give to you is that there is an algebraic equation that you can use to find square root of a non-perfect square number. And the algebraic equation is square root of x is equal to square root of y plus x minus y all over 2 multiplied by square root of y. And this algebraic equation is not common in our textbooks. I mean, the book that we read in class, this particular algebraic equation is not common. So I'm going to use it to solve non-perfect square numbers. And example 1, I have square root of 24. How will you find square root of 24 if you don't have a calculator or you don't want to use a calculator? How will you find it? Now, you see that this algebraic equation, I have two variables, and the variables are x and y. So you use the number that you are going to find its square root to get your x and y values there. And x value is always the number that you are going to find its square root. So meaning, if I have root 24, my x will be equal to 24. Now, how can you find your y value? Y value is the square numbers that 24 will lie between. And you can see that inside the table, 24 will lie between 16 and 25. So I'll write 24 is between 16 and what? 25. And your y value will be the number that is closer to the number that you are going to find its square root. The number that we are going to find its square root is 24. And you can see that 25 is closer to 24 than 16. So it means that my y will be equal to 25. So since we now know x and y, I can now put them into the algebraic equation. So square root of 24 now is equal to square root of 25 plus 24 minus 25 all over 2 root 25. Then to continue, square root of 25 is 5 from the table, plus 24 minus 25 is minus 1 over square root of 25 is 5. 5 times 2, 10. So you can see that I will now have 5. You see, plus and minus, the negative will overweigh the plus. So 1 over 10 is 0.1. So I will now have 5 minus 0.1. And 5 minus 0.1 is 4.9. Therefore, square root of 24 is equal to 4.9. So this 4.9 is an approximate value for square root of 24. So this is how we find square root of 24 using this algebraic equation. Now let's move to example 2. Example 2, I have to find square root of 66. So to find square root of 66, it means my x is the number here. X is equal to 66. Then y value will be the square numbers that 66 will lie between. So let's go to the table. 66 will lie between 64 and 81. So that means that 66 is between 64 and what? 81. Then we'll now consider which of the numbers here is closer to 66. And you can see that 64 is closer to 66 than 81. That means that my y is equal to 64. Then to use the algebraic equation there, I will have square root of 66 is equal to square root of 64, because y is now 64, plus 66 minus 64 all over 2 root 64. I'm just substituting x and y values. Square root of 64 is 8, plus 66 minus 64 is 2 over 2 multiplied by square root of 64 is 8. Then I'll close it this way. Then to continue, I'll have 8 plus, these two will take away these two. I'll now have 1 over 8. Then to find the value of 1 over 8, let me use long division method here. So here will be my 8 and here will be 1. But you know that 1 cannot divide by 8. So what I'll do is that I'll add 0 to this and write 0 point. How many times can 8 will go into 10? That is 1. Remember 2. So I'll add 0 to the 2 to make it 20. How many times can 8 will go into 20? 2. Remainder 4. That is 2 times 8 is 16. So the remainder 4. I'll add 0. How many times can 8 will go into 40? 5 times 5 remainder 0. So it means that I'll stop here. Meaning 1 over 8 is 0.125. And 8 plus 0.125 will give me 8.125. Therefore, square root of 66 is 8.125. And this 8.125 is the approximate square root value of square root of 66. So this is how we find square root of numbers without using calculator, especially when the numbers are not perfect square numbers. For you to know much about this particular approach, take your own numbers that are not perfect square numbers, use the same procedure and work it out. After that, you can use your calculator to confirm your answers. Please, the most important thing is how to use this particular algebraic equation. So you try to know that x is the number that you are going to find is square root value, and y value lies between two perfect square numbers, and you pick y to be the number that is closer to the number that you are going to find is square root number. Thank you for watching this video. If this is your first time of watching, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nabla Online Maths, so that you will be notified anytime a new video is being uploaded. You can also share my Facebook post for others to watch. Thank you once again and have a nice day. Bye bye.